Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video I just want to go over some of the problems that I think Modern Warfare 2 has at the moment. So Modern Warfare 2, obviously it's just come out a couple of days ago on Friday. Friday for me anyway. It did come out in other areas a little bit sooner, so people were just taking a quick trip to New Zealand so that they could play the game a little bit earlier. I couldn't do that because I don't think it was working on PC. But yeah, so I've had a good amount of time to actually play the game now, so I just want to give my initial thoughts. I'm level 34, 35, I believe. So yeah, I feel like I've got enough playtime now to be able to, give a relatively good review of the game so far. So in all honesty, there's not too much good to say. So it's just like, a normal COD game, like it's just the same thing. I'm mainly going to be highlighting the negatives, but I want this to be more of like a constructive feedback video rather than just slander in the game, because I do really want this game to be good. This is the first COD since World War II that I've actually been excited for and that I've actually pre-ordered. So I just really want this game to be successful, and I think that some of the things that I will highlight in this video are the main reasons why it's not going to be like that if these things stay as they are. So the first thing I want to touch on is all of the crashing. So this has probably been one of the biggest topics in the game at the minute, and on Twitter and stuff like that, people are constantly complaining about the crashing, and it's happening to me as well, basically all the time. So I'll maybe get 3 or 4 games in before my game crashes, and then I've got to reload the game and I've got to do everything again, and it's just so annoying. I believe Call of Duty's always been like this on PC, but this is the first one I've actually played on PC, so I'm not sure. But yeah, the crashing is horrendous, especially with the whole weapon tuning thing. But they have disabled weapon tuning now until they can fix that, so that's good at least. But that was really annoying. Just games randomly crashing anyway for no apparent reason. It's just so frustrating when all you want to do is play, and it just breaks up the rhythm. So you're having a lot of fun, you're just playing a few games, and then it crashes, and then you're just like, oh, wow, it's happening again, stuff like that. It's just so annoying, and I really hope Infinity Ward do sort this out soon, because if not, it's just going to piss people off to a point where they won't want to play the game anymore. The next thing I want to point out is the stuttering that I'm experiencing in game. Not sure if this is the same for everyone. I do have my FPS capped at 90, just to stop it from sort of stuttering because of frame rate issues, and that's not the problem. I'm playing at a constant 90 FPS, so the game's just stuttering anyway as it is, and it's really, really annoying, especially when you're in like a gunfight and then your game freezes for a split second and you lose the gunfight because of that. It happens like every 10 seconds or so, and it's just so frustrating when you're just trying to play and you're just trying to do well, but this stuff just keeps popping up, and it's just it just keeps affecting your gameplay. And yeah, so that's another thing that I hope that they do really fix. The next thing, probably the biggest topic for the last couple of years in Call of Duty, skill-based matchmaking. So every single game I've played so far has been an absolute sweat fest. I've had a few games where I've done well, but I've had to try relatively hard to do well. So yeah, skill-based matchmaking, unfortunately, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I just really want them to tone it down a bit so that lobbies are a bit more, rather than it feeling like the same experience every match. I want to be able to do really well one game, and then even do not so well the next game, just so it mixes things up a little bit, because if you're doing really good every game, you're just going to get bored. So stuff like that. Campers as well. The camping in this game is some of the worst I've ever seen. People will just lay in a corridor and wait for people to come. They'll just like mount on a wall and wait for people to come to them. People will sit on like roofs of buildings. So, for example, on like the embassy map, there's a couple of roofs that you can get on. People will just camp on those the whole game. There's the windows in the actual buildings that people will just look out of. And I think that the main thing that encourages this is the mounting system, because it gives such a buff to your recoil that you basically don't even have to control it when you're mounted. You just hold the trigger and that's it, you've got a kill. You know, you don't have to control your recoil or anything, which is so annoying. And another thing that kind of makes camping more prevalent in this game is the fact that Dead Silence is a field upgrade rather than a perk. It's always been a perk in COD up until Modern Warfare 2019, which I still will forever say to this day is the worst COD ever made. But yeah, the having Dead Silence as a field upgrade is just so frustrating, because it's, you know, we've had it as a perk for forever in COD, and then all of a sudden it's turned into a field upgrade, so we can't just use it all the time. And Infinity Ward's you know, the way that they balance this apparently is by saying, oh, we don't want people to, you know, be punished for moving around the map. And it's like, you know, it's just so stupid how they believe that having Dead Silence as a field upgrade is better than having it as a perk. And it's, you know, it's one of those things where, like, I just don't even know how to explain it, but like Infinity Ward, they say that they're listening to feedback, but people are giving them feedback telling them to just put Dead Silence as a perk. It's that simple. But they're just not doing it. They refuse to budge on Dead Silence and, you know, like footstep audio and stuff like that. To be fair, from the beta to the full release of the game, they did make it so that footstep audio is quieter, and I have noticed that, but it is still loud. Like, you can still tell that people are coming from like a mile away. So yeah, it's just, Infinity Ward just seems so set on making their games now focused to, and I don't want to offend anyone with this, but they focus their game design on people that aren't as skilled. You know, that's the nicest way I can say it, because a few years ago, I used to be pretty decent at COD. I'm not going to toot my own horn and say I was like really good, but I was good. I was confident in myself, and, you know, I could get like, well, depending on what map I was playing, what mode I was playing, I was normally like the top fragger in the lobby. So I always play the objective. I've always seen myself as quite a good COD player, but now, because campers are just so, they're everywhere, you don't do as well anymore, because people will just sit in a corner and then they instantly have an advantage because you sat still. So by making Dead Silence a field upgrade, you're actively punishing people for moving around the map, you know, because they can't make their footsteps quiet, which is just so stupid, because it's a much more skillful way of playing the game, rather than just sitting in a corner or, you know, holding an angle and mounting on a wall. It just pisses so many people off, and, you know, I'm one of those people that it pisses off as well. And that's another reason why I thought the Modern Warfare in 2019, again, as I said, worst COD ever made, because they were so focused on designing everything around campers, you know, with like the map design and stuff like that. Now, in terms of map design, on this game, it is a lot better than it was in Modern Warfare 2019. You know, there's not as many angles that you have to hold at all times. In Modern Warfare 2019, you basically, so the maps, you could go in every building, so there was just windows and doorways and everything that you had to watch at all times, whereas in this game, it's not as bad. There are a couple of maps that are absolutely awful, in my opinion. So there's Tarak. I'm not sure how to say that name, but the one where it's in you know, like the city, but there's like sand everywhere. That map is absolutely awful. There's just that's one of the maps where there's just so many angles to hold. And then the other one is Crown Raceway. I think that, along with Tarak, are the worst two maps in the game. They are absolutely awful in terms of their design. So, but other than that, the other maps are all right. The hotel one's probably my favourite, Greenberg Hotel, something, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that map's quite good. And they're not as designed around, safe spaces, as Infinity Ward call it, or the Sentinels now, as they're called. But yeah, the next thing I wanted to touch on is the unlock system and how you unlock weapons and even camos and stuff like that. I think it's really, really stupid. So, say for example, if you want to unlock the MP5 or the Lachman sub, as it's called in this game, you've got to get the Lachman 556 to level 15. And to unlock the Lachman 556, you need to get the Lachman 762 to level 15 or something like that. And it's just so stupid compared to what we've had before, where you level up, you unlock a gun. You level up, you unlock a perk or something like that. Why can't it just be like that? So one thing that people say a lot with, Infinity Ward's most recent games is that they point out that they keep fixing stuff that isn't broken. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. But they keep trying to fix it and it's not working. Like, I see they're trying to innovate, but it's just not working and people do not like it. Yeah, again, they say they're listening to feedback, but they're clearly not, just because of this. And I think it's really stupid, stuff like that. And, in terms of the leveling system as well, no prestige. Like, they're sticking with seasonal prestige despite no one asking for it. They're just keeping it in the game for absolutely no reason. Like, with seasonal prestige, it feels like all of the work that you put in a season all goes to waste after the season, because your rank gets reset. Everything from that season's gone. So yeah, it's just so stupid. Like, having a good progression system like the traditional prestige is so much better, just because you can show your ranks and stuff off to people so much easier compared to seasonal prestige, where you're always on the same level as one another almost. And it's just so annoying. I just really wish the traditional progression system would come back in COD, because it is the best one. And a good progression is what keeps me playing. If there's not a good progression system in a game, then I'm not going to play it for very long. So if they don't, make seasonal prestige at least better than what it is now, then I'm probably not going to be playing this game in the long term, especially since it's a 2-year COD, so there's no COD coming out next year. So the next COD will be in 2024, which is a long time to wait. And yeah, so I just really want a good COD to sink my teeth into, because it's been so long. The last good COD, in my opinion, I know not everyone thinks it was that good, but the last good COD, in my opinion, was COD World War II. I had so much fun with that. I honestly think it's one of the best CODs ever made. There was so much to do. It was just really fun. The maps, the game modes, everything was just so good. The headquarters, I really wish we had a headquarters back in COD. It was like, you could interact with the community and everything. It was really fun. But yeah, so sorry if I rambled a little bit in this video. I just wanted to, give my initial thoughts about the game. I don't really script my videos, just because I don't like scripting stuff. It just doesn't seem real. So just wanted to give my real honest thoughts about the game. And if anyone feels the same, feel free to let me know in the comments, or even if you disagree, let me know in the comments, and I'll happily have a discussion with people. I hate arguing. I'd much prefer to talk about things in like a civilized manner. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.